your intuition should, your spidey senses should start tingling and going, bing, bang, boom, done. Howdy friends, it's your old pal Shred, welcoming you back to another episode of Frogger World. In today's episode, we're going to tackle batteries and figure out just how many battery chemical plants our sulfuric acid build could support if we wanted to build that many. You might be surprised. Also, we're going to put together a real quick plastic build. And here's a bit of a hint. A little bit goes a long way when it comes to plastic. So let's go ahead and take a look. So here we are up at our sulfuric acid build. And what we want to do is find out a place to drop in our batteries. And I was thinking we'll just kind of bring it down this way somewhere. Maybe like that. And this will kind of split off this way, split off that way, go this way, where we will have our chemical plants 3 spaces apart, something like that, and drop in, so something like that. So they'll place it on there, and we can go ahead and get some lights in here so we can see actually what's going on. There we go. Batteries. So something like that. And then we'll take our sulfuric acid and line it up like that. Actually, looking at this, these probably can't be that close. I'll have to do something like this. Bring it around like that. And that'll work. That'll give us room for our belts. It can come in like that. So we're bringing the iron and copper up from the bottom. So boom, boom, bing, bang, boom, done. So we wanted to investigate potentially how many of these battery plants we could support with our sulfuric acid build. So we're looking up here, and again, we can produce 5 sulfuric acid every second. Coming down here, taking a look, we require 2 sulfuric acid every 5 seconds. So right off the bat, you should know if we're producing 5 sulfuric acid every second, and we're only needing 2 every 5 seconds, just your intuition should, your spidey senses should start tingling and going, I got a feeling we can probably put a lot of battery chem plants and bolt those onto our sulfuric acid build, just kind of looking at it. But let's take a deeper look and see exactly how many we could bolt on. So I came out here to our drawing on the screen area, and it looks like we have some friends that have popped up. So before I could start figuring out ratios, I think we got some business we need to take care of. So
shut up and sit down.
Let's make this happen. And there we go. And as you can see on the mini map, we got quite a little line of bugs over here. But that will be for another day. All right, so we've looked at our ratios, and we know that our sulfuric acid build works at 5 sulfuric acid per 1 second. And we're going to set that equal to our battery production, which consumes at a rate of 2 sulfuric acid per 5 seconds. And we'll just go ahead and write batteries so we don't forget. And we're going to do the exact same thing. So batteries are going to be the Y. X variable is going to be how many sulfuric acid plants. Well, we already know it's 2, but let's just go under the assumption that we don't know. We're just going to run as if we don't know. So we're going to divide both sides by X, just like we did in the last video. This gets canceled out. And unlike last time, what we're going to do this time, we're essentially going to cross multiply. I don't know if you remember that from elementary school. Cross multiply, I mean, it's the same as if we wanted to get rid of these numbers, we could multiply by 5 seconds over 2 sulfuric acid. We do the same thing on both sides, which keeps us our equality satisfied. 5 seconds over 2 SA. And so what we're going to do, these cancel out, obviously. And then what we're going to do, we're going to multiply 5 times 5. So the seconds cancel and your sulfuric acid cancels. 5 times 5 equals 25, right? And 2 times 1 is 2, and that equals y over x. Well, we could have did a shortcut, if you will, if we just would have cross multiplied here. If we would have multiplied 2 times 1, obviously is 2. 5 times 5 is 25. You just have to remember, that the sulfuric acid and the seconds cancel each other out. Anyway, same difference, but, maybe a little bit quicker to do that. Anywho, what we're going to have 2 is our x. And remember, x was equal to sulfuric acid, and y, which were our batteries, were 25. So essentially, what this is telling us, if we come up here and we look at for these 2 sulfuric acid plants, we could essentially have 25 battery plants. Now let me tell you, that is a lot of battery plants. I don't know if I've ever created 25 battery chemical plants. That is a humongous factory. So in essence, we're probably going to keep with just 4 battery chemical plants for now. That probably will get us to where we want. I mean, we could always add a few more, but we have to remember that sulfuric acid is also used for blue circuits. But again, we're producing, each one produces 5 sulfuric acid per second. We're essentially producing 10 sulfuric acid per second. That is a lot. Just our one sulfuric acid build is probably it's definitely gonna get us to shooting a rocket. Let me put it that way. You can run a pretty big base on 2 sulfuric acid chemical plants. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to use the JG Games splitter. I like it. I use it all the time. And this will split our copper and iron evenly. The only funny business we have to do is try to get that through. But that's fine. So our batteries come out. We'll put our iron on that side. We'll put our copper on this side, split it off. So with copper and iron plate hooked up, all we have to do is get that firing, and we should be off to the races. And there we go. There's our batteries. All right. Now that sulfur is out of the way, let's go ahead real quickly, take a look at plastic. If we take a look at it, and again, I'm not going to go through the ratios, but for each chemical plant uses 3 petroleum gas per second. And that's not taken into account the crafting speed of 1.25, which is 3.75 petroleum per second is what this is consuming. And that's a lot of petroleum. This setup, which I said will probably take me to shooting a rocket and was about double what I probably needed, can only produce, now this is just basic oil refining. Again, we're going to produce more petroleum when we can get into cracking and advanced oil production. But 10 refineries is only producing enough petroleum to supply 2 plastic chemical plants. And that's if we don't include any of the oil being diverted to sulfuric acid. And I see a lot of times what people do is they run into plastic problems, and their solution is just to keep adding more and more chemical plants producing plastic. Well, that's not going to fix your problem one bit. More than likely, if you're running into a plastic problem, it's not because you don't have enough chemical plants producing plastic. These things go pretty quick. Again, we get 2 plastic bars per second. So if we can keep enough petroleum, these 2 plants will produce 4 plastic bar per second. So if you include the speed modifier, these things have a crafting speed of 1.25. That's 5 plastic per second. These things produce a lot quickly. I probably could get away with just 1, but I want to have it symmetrical, and I want these to be feeding on both sides. So let's just go ahead, get some lights in here because it's getting dark already. The last thing we need to do here is we need to get some coal up to here. And you can see, we're putting a lot of plastic on the belt. If we could keep this petroleum pumping, we're getting quite a bit of plastic. Now, the next problem is, well, I think I have about a dozen pump jacks hooked up to here. Those dozen pump jacks are no way going to be able to keep up with this many refineries. But besides that, the refineries can't run because we are completely full of light and heavy oil. So our next step is to figure out how to drain off some heavy and light oil so our petroleum can keep producing. Well, friends, that's going to wrap it up for today. We got batteries done, we got plastic done. Next time, we're going to have to do a little bit of oil wrangling. We got to take care of some light oil, petroleum, heavy oil balancing. Then we might be able to even get into red circuits, which will be the final step to blue science. So if you like this video, please be sure to like, and to keep up to date on all this Factorio goodness, please be sure to subscribe. Until next time, peace out, be good, shoo! Lucy, zip it. Dogs snoring and having puppy dreams. Shh. What the fuck was I gonna say? Bing, bang, boom. Done.